Hey guys, Brandon Chitty here. Just going to walk you through a couple of the setup options and setting up one of these big airplanes with the new Aurora 9 Hitec 2.4 radio. Show you the simplicity of it. Show you kind of the stick movements and the speed on the surfaces. Just get an idea of how one of these big planes is set up with the new system. Both of these airplanes, I have the Optima 7 channel receiver. And so I'll show you kind of how I have them set up. This Airworks 42% yak has a power box system, and the I guess SD Model's 35% yak has the same Optima 7, and it has the Smart Fly system. Both of these planes have been flying great with the new 2.4 radio system. It's just unbelievable because I have, been flying the 72 for so long, and getting my hands on these with the new radio is just unbelievable. It feels like you're in the plane and you actually have a control of that stick instantly. So, walk you through it a little bit. Setup that I have on the 42% yak. Let's go ahead and turn her on here. It's going to ask you to check frequency or to transmit, and since I'm just showing you guys this on this menu, I'm going to go ahead and hit no. Alright, so basically on this menu you have your voltage for your transmitter, 7.5. When it's plugged into, when it's hooked up to an airplane, it'll actually have a battery voltage right here. It'll look like a little, AA battery, and it'll have a voltage in there. This shows your trims. Here's your timer 1, timer 2. I have timer up here on this switch, and you can see it starting to count down. But you can set that all up in the radio. You can see that it's named 40% yak, and if I were to click on that, I can go to different model memories. You can see my blue yak, and then I have a couple of other no names that I've let people kind of search through the menu on. But if we click on this main menu, you can see it has system, model, and custom. If you click back, if I click on this, not the trim step, but you can see it goes to custom, model, system again. So it still has the three main things. So you can go through the menus just by clicking one of them, or you go to them, it still takes you to the same spot. So let's go ahead and start off in the menu. Here's your reverse, your sub trim, your dual rates, your endpoint adjustments. Just kind of show you the dual rates. It shows you your curve here, your high and low rate, and your exponential, and you can set it up on any switch you'd like. I'll go ahead and show you the switch screen. What you do is you select a switch for that rate to be on, and you go to select, and you can see it has a picture of the actual radio, and it has the letters for the switches, and you just basically pick one, and then you just go back, and then that switch, that would be on that. So that's the ailerons. Okay, so now if we were to click on the elevator, then we could either have that on the same switch or have it on a different switch. And how you increase and decrease the percentages, you just go down or up like this. So this is kind of how I have my airplane set up, 125, 125, kind of maxed out on the high rates. And you see when I drop it down, they're obviously different because they were throwing different amounts on the top and the bottom, and you can see the curve change there. So how you exit out in this menu is the top right hand side. You just go back like that. So that was the subtrim EPA flight condition. I don't have any flight conditions in this, but you can insert a flight condition, and you can connect that to anything that you would like. You can have multiple flight conditions on one switch. It's just pretty much endless of what you could do. Aileron differential. To show you something I have kind of set up, I have the throttle curve set up on this airplane because it does have groove pipes, and so it jumps up on that pipe a little bit, and you can see the throttle curve here. What's really cool about this radio is that you don't have 5 positions, and so you have to change it and then start the engine to see if it made a difference or whatnot. What's really cool is you just take the throttle and you can move the throttle up and down, and as you can see, that line is moving. And so if I sit it right here and I go to negative or positive, it's going to move that line up or down, and I can actually hear the engine change to see if that's the point that I like it. So it's very easy to set up a throttle curve and to know that it's what you want. So it's kind of how you do that there. You can have it on a switch, but if you have it on a switch, you could either turn it off or on, and it's kind of an always on type deal that I have on there. So you have your throttle cut. It's real nice. Up here at the top you have a spring switch, and that's really great for throttle cut, because it's just, you hold it down until the engine shuts off. But you can put it on any switch you'd like. Idle down, 4%. That's just so that when you're taxiing out, you can have your idle down, and when you're up flying, you can have a high idle, so you're not going to kill the engine on down lines and low idle settings. So here's our P mixes. We'll go ahead and set one of those up to kind of show you how that works. I don't have any set up on this airplane right now, but you have 8 here that you can set up. So they're all inhibited. So let's go ahead and hit Act. What it's asking for now is it's asking for your master channel, and what we're going to say is in knife edge my plane is tucking to the belly or going towards the landing gear, which a lot of planes do. So this is one of the most basic programmable mixes that you could put in. So the master channel would be rudder, the slave channel would be the elevator. Alright, so we get out of there. So you see our rudder elevator programmable mix. We hit select. It's going to give you a curve and everything that you need. So you can see when I move that rudder, it's going to give me a different percent. So I can change the percent there, and then that's going to move the elevator that much to where the movement of the rudder would be. So you can kind of get a nice curve there. Anytime you want to reset anything, you need to highlight that, and then you hit reset and set it back down. So that's something that is really nice too. You can set up your programmable mixes. You have plenty to choose from. So pretty much you can get anything programmed on this thing. So let's go ahead and we'll go back there, and what we can do is just inhibit it, because I don't need it for anything, and now it's gone. So might set that up a little bit later. This is really nice to do a frequency check. You could set up your servos to start testing, and you can move your throttle up and down, and as I move the throttle, depending on how high the throttle is moved, the faster the channels move. So instead of doing it by hand, which might be a little more glitchy, you could set this up, and then you can walk away, and it's a real nice smooth moment, so that the person watching the plane can really make sure that you're getting a good range check. Alright, so go back here. Up here at the top you see 1 of 2. You click on that and it'll show 2 of 2 to give you the rest of your options. But servo speed, everything that you need there. So let's go back to system. System, you have your model select, kind of what I showed you before. You can copy, reset, rename. We don't need to do anything there. Model type, this is when you're setting up a new airplane. That's something that's really cool about this radio. When you get set up a new airplane, when you make a new model, it walks you through a questionnaire that will basically get your airplane pre-set up, minus the EPA and subtrims and things like that you'll need to do. Timer, you have timer 1. You can see it's active 10 minutes, and it'll count down. You can have it count up, whatever you'd like to do. This one's inhibited because I don't need 2 timers. So channel, this is where you can choose what you want on what channels. It's totally up to you. You can do whatever you need to do. You can program it however you'd like. Got your 9 channels right there. Alright, so here's the trim step, which is really nice because you can have a really smooth transition with each trim, so it's going to take a lot of trim to make a change, or you can have it to where it takes 1 click to make a difference. So that's kind of preference as well, but that's really nice as well. Sensor power. Power is pretty cool. You can set up to save battery, your backlight. Another really cool thing about this radio is you can put a li-poly battery in it, and if you choose to change it to li-poly, you'd have to go in here and change it, and what that will do is it'll take the battery reader on the front and it's going to make the cutoff voltage to fit the li-poly. You have your mode choices, all that kind of stuff. But that basically shows you how I have that airplane set up. Really nice feel to this radio. It has ball bearing gimbals and really nice anodized sticks there, and they're real nice to fly with. Hope you guys like it. Get your hand on one.